Hey, what's going on, guys? EC here, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different, a little bit new. I'm back with the Evercade. I know, guys, it's been a while since I spoke about the Evercade when it wasn't the showcase, but I am back making these sort of videos. So, what am I talking about today? Well, if you saw the title of the video, you all know I'm talking about whether or not we can see PlayStation portable games on the Evercade. Now, this is quite an interesting topic straight up, because obviously the PSP is seen as more powerful than the Evercade in a lot of ways. It's obviously a lot more powerful system, so it may not be able to. So the Evercade itself may not be able to run most games on the from the PSP unless they are downgraded ports to the Evercade systems. Now, I will also say, unless this is more like sort of like basic, sort of smaller game, it would be harder to actually get the games on the Evercade. And also, considering the format that the PSP used, being UMD, it might be a bit harder to actually bring over, because obviously the UMD had more storage than the traditional Evercade cartridge. But besides that, would it be? Let's just have a little fantasy and a little hypothetical about this. Let's have a little fantasy moment. And, oh, well, what if it did happen? What games could we see? Well, there are quite a few games on the PSP from many different publishers and developers. Some of which do actually support Evercade. Some of which have actually licensed some of their games to Evercade. However, I don't know how likely some of these companies bringing some of these games over to Evercade would be, because first of all, you got the controls. Because as you can see, I've got my PSP Street right here. You can see there is this little stick right here, this little control stick, which is not on an Evercade. And also, if games from the PSP did come to the Evercade line of systems, it would have to come to the newer model systems, and it probably wouldn't be able to run on the original Evercade handheld, the EXP or the VS. It would have to probably come on the Evercade VS2, Evercade EXP2, stuff like that. But I don't think Blaze wants to release a new hardware variant anytime soon. They already did 3 years of new system releases. Plus, they've got their whole, Super Pocket, Hyper Megatech stuff that they're working on as well now. So to me, it looks a little bit like unlikely that we will see this sort of happen. If it does happen, I'm greatly interested in what they could do. I think it'd be very interesting to see, especially some PSP games on Evercade, especially if those who don't know, if you don't want to own the PSP had such a good library. It's Sony's best-selling handheld. I know they only released 2 handhelds, but still. And some games only used the shoulder buttons to play, so maybe if they could get some games like that, that'd be fun. But I don't know how likely this would even be, because obviously the PSP is more powerful than the Evercade EXP and the Evercade VS, which are like the more superior systems. So even if you don't count this system, the Evercade handheld, the EXP and VS may have issues running PSP games. Also, the controls, well, that stick's not there, so it might be a bit more awkward to control games on the EXP. With the VS, you can obviously just get another controller and whatever. But with the EXP, that's the main concern, is whether or not these carts will be able to work across both systems. Yeah, I don't know how likely this is. I don't think it ever will happen. At least not on the current versions of Evercade. Maybe in, like, say 5 years or so, we get an upgraded Evercade which runs like PS2 games, Xbox games, GameCube games, and PSP games, and then maybe it runs them then. But I don't think this is going to happen now. Like, obviously Evercade is a great system, great line of systems, and some great games, but I don't know how likely PSP games would ever be on the Evercade systems. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I want to play PSP games on my Evercade. I do as well. I think it'd be a great little way. But also, the PSP is quite cheap to collect for as well. So if you do want to play PSP games, there's no reason for you to just not buy the PSP games on the PSP. Like the PSP, if you can find one, and obviously because they are quite common, depending on where you go, they are quite cheap as well. You can probably get some decent games on there. Plus, as well, you got to remember that the developers that would have to either port the games or find a way to emulate them on Evercade, and that would be a huge string of issues itself. And obviously, the PSP just being a powerful system is kind of hard for Evercade to emulate. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, turn notifications. I've been Evercade, EC, whatever I'm going by. I don't even know at this point. I swear half the time I forget my own name. So I've been Evercade, whatever. And I'm signing out. So please subscribe. I'll see you next one. Peace.